reflection, but what you're seeing on my screen is kind of a reflection of how my week has gone. Right now I'm trying to watch Mr. Belvedere on a Saturday afternoon, and the TV station, KCRG, they're having reception problems downtown for whatever reason, and so I get this lovely thing that says no signal. And so what you're seeing here has been kind of a summation of how my week has gone, so stick around because I want to tell you about it. So this week has been like the mother of all horrible weeks for me, because if I have a bad Monday, then the rest of my week is going to go down the toilet. That's just a trend that I've noticed for a very long time, and my Monday was definitely not a good Monday, because I go into work and I find out that I'm going to be unassigned, which means I'm going to be sitting around in the office all day doing nothing. And so what wound up happening was that, well, there was a pretty nasty car wreck about 30 miles south of here in Iowa City, and the person who's in charge is very Bill Lumbergish.
I'm gonna need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. So if you could be here around 9, that would be great.
And so in the very emotionally detached style that this person has, they send me off to go get this, and then that kind of annoyed the living daylights out of me, because you gotta love people like that.
Thanks.
And then the rest of the day I pretty much sat around and did nothing. So now Tuesday comes around, and now Tuesday I'm actually assigned on the story, but it's a national story that is being localized, which means that you go out and you interview somebody, but then you have to make the story out of other people's footage that you shot. And anyone who is worth their weight as an editor or works in news will tell you that that is the worst kind of story to put together, is when you have to go through someone else's B-roll and try and make something coherent out of it. And so I was just in an absolutely... And the thing about Tuesday was that Tuesday didn't have to be like that. It's just that the person that I was working with likes to try and find ways of minimizing the amount of effort that they have to put into doing their job. And the side effect of that is that it maximizes the amount of effort that I have to put into my job. So I was just absolutely fuming Tuesday night. And I had to take a few deep breaths and calm myself down, because I was about ready to go postal. Well, not literally, but, you know, metaphorically. I was kind of on the edge. So Wednesday by far was the most stressful day of the week. I actually got a real story and was working out in the field, but we had so many freaking technical issues with the computer that I was trying to use to edit the story. And what happened with the computer was that one of those little tiny moisture-absorbing silica beads got into the little hole of the power plug, and so when you plugged it in, it couldn't plug it all the way, and so the computer couldn't realize, it didn't know, or it couldn't talk to the power supply to figure out what kind of power supply it was. So in order to protect the power supply, the computer revved its CPU down all the way to idle. And so that made the computer sluggish, it made it unstable, and I had to do about 1 billion different plan Bs to get things done. And at the end of the day, implementing those plan Bs, I had a huge mistake make it out on air, which kind of that really upset me a bit, and upset my reporter too, because we were just kind of in a panic. And well, at the end of the day we could laugh it off, because it was like, well, it's the stupid computer's fault. But still, that was my Wednesday. So Thursday comes around, and I'm supposed to have a staff meeting at 12:30. However, Wednesday night, that meeting got pushed back to 2:30. And the notification never got pushed to my phone, so I show up at 12:30, and lo and behold, I'm the only one there. So I came into work early, 2 hours for nothing. So then we finally had this meeting at 2:30, And this meeting was the biggest freaking insult to my intelligence that I've ever experienced. And so then thankfully I was able to fall into my normal Thursday routine. And that's the only thing that saved my Thursday, was falling into that routine. And so that leads up to Friday, which was yesterday. So let's bring up the topic of Friday, shall we? It rained all day yesterday. I got soaked because I had to be outside for high school football. And to top it off, I nearly had a moron plow into me at a traffic light because instead of slowing down for the yellow, which they had plenty of space to do, they instead decided to floor it. Oh, and did I mention that I was in our $250,000 remote TV studio truck van with the satellite dish on top, so that would have been a very costly accident, and I floored it and was able to get out of the intersection just in time. But that would have been interesting to see because this was coming up on a light that turned yellow and was going red. And so I'm just kind of curious exactly how the police would have figured that out, because would it have been my fault, or would it have been his fault, or would it have been both of our faults? Because on the one hand, the light was yellow. He had plenty of room to stop, and he chose not to. But on the other hand, because I was turning left, I had to yield to him. So I guess I'll never find out that question, and hopefully I'll never find out that question. But then Friday night football. Oh yeah, Friday night football. Well, it rained out. I get to my first game to shoot. I realized that I forgot my memory cards for my camera, so I had to run back, get those. Missed 2 touchdowns. Got 3 more. And got soaked because it started raining out. Started pouring like ugly rain, wind-driven rain. And so my clothes and my shoes and all that stuff are still drying out today. And I got out of there Friday night, and I was like, I could not get out of that place fast enough. I mean, like, I hopped in the car and I burned rubber, literally burned rubber getting out of the parking lot because I was just so done with this week. I mean, I rarely have weeks this bad. I've maybe had like 2 or 3 weeks in my entire life that have gone just as awful as last week did. And the good news is that I have 1 more week to go, and then I'm going to be on vacation for a week, and this is going to be the first vacation that I've taken since April. So I am so looking forward to next week, and I'm just hoping that my Monday next week is good so that I can have a good week and survive to see my vacation. But beyond that, this is going to be my video for this week. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I do appreciate the feedback.